saddle up the creek with no paddle. No aliens to battle where we want to go. Without being pompous, we don't need map or compass. We're launching cattywampus on our new travel show. Space Croutons,
only go with us.
Space Croutons,
on our podcast bus.
Space Croutons, we see your retinas, and in space no one can hear you scream. Loopy from our earworm space shanty theme.
Hello, friends. I just wanted to add a bit of a disclaimer to today's story. My intention was to broadcast everything live, but due to unforeseen circumstances, I had to resort to recording a major portion of the episode and will be playing the tape of my adventure for you today. So, without further delay, on to our escapade. Hello, Space Croutonians, one and all. Today, we are back on the road live.
Well, mostly.
And in living color.
Even though you can't see us.
For another travelogue episode of Space Croutons. Sally, as always, is right alongside me for this adventure. We're headed to meet with Brittney and Aiden. I'm sure you remember them. They have been pretty busy, if this note that I have from them is any indication. Sally, do you have any word yet from them?
Curdy, there isn't anything yet. But I'll keep monitoring the regular channels of communication. In the meantime, would you like me to play a commercial from one of our sponsors?
Not just yet, Sally. I think I'd like to read this note to our listeners. It's from both Aiden and Brittney, and it may just shed some light on our story for today.
Very well, Curdy. After all, as you keep reminding me, you're the boss.
Right, Sally. Is Sally's memory selective, or is that what I'm supposed to believe? Anyway, here is a note from Aiden and Brittney. Now, I'm not at liberty to discuss how it came to be in my possession, but I think you'll find the contents interesting. Curdy and Sally. By now, I'm sure you've discovered that what we discussed last time is in fact true. Furthermore, the quardacs not only have power, but this power comes on at various levels of intensity. When the quardacs are in close proximity to each other, the power of each increases in an exponential fashion. Alone, they have power, but when paired or collected together, mountains can be moved. There is, however, a key to all of the objects. The objects without this key are powerless. Here are some driving directions. Please do not deviate from them, and we'll meet you at the destination. Well, I think it's best that we don't read the directions while we're still en route. What do you think, Sally?
I think that's a very astute observation, Curdy. Would you like to add an expression from your dad on the topic? It's been a while since you've been able to add a meaningless quote to our conversations.
Now that you mention it, Sally, I would. As my pappy used to say, don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Wouldn't carrying multiple baskets be wasteful, if only one were needed?
Well, it would be, right up until the point where one was dropped.
But I thought you were unable to make an omelet unless you broke some eggs? At least that's what my creator said.
We'll have to come back around to that one, Sally.
Curdy, we need to take a break here for a word from one of our sponsors. We'll be right back.
This is the dimension of imagination.
Well, that'll give us something to munch on, won't it, Sally?
I'm not sure I understand your question, Curdy.
Well, never mind that now. Well, Sally, we've been traveling down the proverbial road less traveled for some time now, and we've almost reached the point where we'll be meeting our guests.
I hope you've been following the directions, Curdy. We seem to be approaching the National Radio Quiet Zone. This is an area in which radio transmissions and other sources of potential electronic interference are tightly controlled. I suspect connectivity will be severely limited. In fact, my sensors are having difficulty picking up any connectivity whatsoever. Curdy, my internal programming is now implementing survival mode. I will cease all unnecessary functions until an external connection has been restored.
As Sergeant Schultz would say, very interesting. I'd like to add a note here for our dedicated listeners. I'll continue recording, but I'm afraid we will soon lose our ability to transmit. But never fear, we'll get this story to you. As I feared, we're completely out of range. There's no signal. Google, or anybody else for that matter, is unable to update our position. If we break down out here, we are truly on our own. I think there was a movie or two that comes to mind. Well, let's get that thought out of our heads. What's this? Looks like someone's broken down. There's a 1966 VW microbus on the side of the road. I wonder if there are shovels, rakes, and implements of destruction inside. But I digress. Let's just pull over and see if we can be of some assistance. Well, I'll be a monkey's uncle. I'm glad Sal told me that one. Hey, it's Aiden and Brittney. And they brought another familiar face with them. Hello, everyone. Aiden, Brittney, and...
You can call me Karen.
Well, it's nice to see you again, Karen.
It's good to see you again too, Curdy. I'm glad you were able to find this place. We have a lot to tell you.
Okay, but first, are you guys okay? I mean, the last time we spoke, you were anxious to get somewhere. You needed to meet with someone. Is everything okay?
Yeah,
we're good.
okay.
So, why are we here? And more specifically, why are we here?
That's a great question, Curdy, and I'm glad you're asking it. Our location right now is vital to our understanding of what's been going on for some time now.
We're off the grid.
We can speak freely. They can't hear us now.
And the objects? Where are they?
The objects are powerless here.
What?
That's right, Curdy. The objects can't be used here. The key isn't present to unlock them.
Your note spoke of a key.
The key is part of the signal. It's embedded in the cell phone signals that transmit from towers scattered all over the world.
Well, there's very few dead spots left. Areas like this. We call it a dead zone. We now know that they're unable to listen to us when we're in one.
Without the key, the quardacs are powerless.
Karen, do you have any information on Nikki or the benefactor?
Nikki and the benefactor are working together. They want to control everything. To do that, they need the objects. This is much bigger than we ever imagined.
Nikki and the benefactor? 2 peas in a pod? Birds of a feather. Sorry about that. I have a scratchy throat today.
We were wondering, were you able to contact Dat regarding the medallion?
Yes, I wasn't able to read that part of the note to our listeners, but in essence, you asked me to contact Dat to see if they could get the medallion to you. I gave him the information on this location, and Dat said he'd try to meet us here.
Good.
That must be them now.
Well, I recognize Dat, and he has a dog.
A dog? Could it be... Lucy!
Curdy! When I heard Dat was going to meet you guys, I had to come along.
Hi, everyone.
Dat, did you bring it?
The medallion.
I know where it is.
I'm glad you brought Lucy.
Lucy wanted to come along, too. She has a message for you.
That's right.
Lucy, we know the cell signals are an integral part of how the objects function. Is there more?
What else can you tell us, Lucy?
First, I want to let you know that I'll do anything I can to help. If you need anything, please let me know. I'm never very far away. Second, it's not just the cell signals. Do you remember what was developed and launched in the 80s that would connect the world?
Fantasy Island? Zipline, zipline.
Be serious, Curdy.
The internet.
That's right, Aiden. The internet. A world of information available at our fingertips. Well, your fingertips. But the internet isn't a one-way street. Information flowed the other way as well. Personal information.
Where did it flow to?
Let's just say that not everything is as it appears. The internet was and is a tool being used to create some pretty significant players in this game, many of which haven't matured yet. So there's no time to waste.
What do you mean there's no time to waste? What's going to happen?
Aiden, I'd like to speak to you in private if you don't mind.
Sure. Let's go outside.
Curdy, now that we have some objects, we'll be conducting some tests. We're pretty sure how this will end, but we need conclusive evidence before we transition to the next phase.
Next phase?
Time travel.
Is that possible?
Very.
We need to know how to control it. We don't need any mishaps. We have to assess the consequences of what's happening.
Before we make any rash decisions.
Exactly.
Well, I may be out of touch for a while, but I won't be too far.
Where are you going?
Let's just say that I've been working on something with Lucy. I'll know more soon.
Aiden, is everything okay?
I'm fine. Let's just say that Lucy has given me something to think about.
You'll do the right thing, Aiden. I'm sure of it.
Lucy? Sorry. Lucy, is there anything else you can tell us?
There's something else. I know you want to do some testing using the medallion. Tell me, does your testing include RF detection, transmission, and isolation using the medallion?
Do you think there is a relationship between the objects and RF?
It's just a question.
And a question that definitely needs answering.
Just remember this, and I'm sure you do, but think outside the box.
Well, when will I hear from you guys again?
We have an additional way to contact you, Curdy, but it's going to take some effort on your part. But it may be harder for others to trace.
What's that, Brittney?
Geocaching.
Geocaching?
It's like a mini treasure hunt, but with objects hidden inside the treasure.
We'll be placing an icosahedron inside the geocaches scattered around. And if you find one, you give the geocache owner a high-five review and wait there. And you won't have to wait long. We'll connect the dots and we'll come to you, but for now we have to go. I think you'll find that a few miles further down this road, you'll have coverage again, and everything should return to normal.
Do you mean like this one?
But where did you get that?
Maybe we've all been chasing the same treasure.
I think Curdy may be smarter than the average bear.
Oh, and you know that I haven't been broadcasting this, but I have been recording.
That's okay, Curdy. Once we're gone and you're moving, you'll be able to broadcast again.
And there are others that need to hear this as well.
So, I need to start looking for geocaches?
Yes, Curdy, especially when you feel the need to talk, or just keep your eye open for an icosahedron. I'm sure Sally can help.
And what if I have something for you guys? How do I contact you?
We're pretty good at reading between the lines, Curdy. We listen to your podcast regularly, and we can find you if you need to see us.
Curdy, we need to be going now. Please remember what we told you about the geocaches. We may need to meet like this again in the future, but we'll see.
Or someplace completely different.
Let's hope not.
Remember, Curdy, we're not far away, and we're also listening to you.
Let's go, everyone. As Robert Frost once said, the woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep.
And miles to go before I sleep.
And miles to go before I sleep.
See you soon, Curdy.
Bye, Curdy.
Ta-ta, Curdy.
Later, Curdy.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Stay safe, everyone. See you soon. Well, dedicated listeners, how about these interesting twists and turns? It appears that we've only just begun to scratch the surface of everything that's going on. I believe there's a lot more out there, but as my pappy used to say, if you find yourself in a hole, stop digging. Well, we'd better get going. So, listeners, I'm afraid that we won't be able to take calls just yet, and until you've heard everything that I have, you may not be ready to comment. But I'd love to hear from you, and soon. And as soon as I can get this episode out to everyone, it'll go. I promise you that. I've come across some very interesting stories and some very unique people with stories to tell. I'm heading back along the road now, and I guess I'll be signing off for this episode. So be well, gentle listeners. Stay safe and...
Hello, Curdy. Did I miss anything?
Sally, I'm glad you're back online. Does that mean we're connected? Can we transmit?
We're almost back to 100% capability, Curdy. Transmission bandwidth should be achievable in the next 3 minutes and 14.159265359 seconds.
Thank you, Sally. Tell me, Sally, do you have any recollection over the last 15 or 20 minutes?
No, Curdy. I don't have any logs or transcripts of anything that took place within the last 5 to 20 minutes.
Interesting choice of words, Sally. Avid listeners, we'll take a short break here for a word from one of our sponsors.
Clap on, clap off, clap on, clap off, the clapper.
Let you turn things on or off from anywhere in the room. Just plug in the clapper and a television, lamp, stereo, almost anything you want to clap on and off.
Clap on, clap off, clap on, clap off, the clapper.
The Clapper is now available at all Hills department stores, Phase Drugs, and Wegman food pharmacies.
And we're back. As for now, dear listeners, we'll continue to dig into this and follow our leads wherever they go. We'll also keep our eyes peeled for icosahedra.
Icosahedrons?
Yes, Sally. Icosahedrons, a 20-sided die used primarily for...
I know what they are, Curdy. I was questioning the need to search for them.
Well, I'll explain later, Sally. Interesting. Farewell until next time, Space Croutonians. This is Curdy Clammerwood, leaving you for the moment. Stay well and look for us soon as we head on down the road. And keep peace in your heart until our next story time.
So when we leave the station, for each time or space vacation, you won't wanna miss it. If you do, well, you can kiss it. Space Croutons,
Season 2.0.
Space Croutons, brings new worlds to know. Space Croutons, subatomic afterglow, as we cruise the Milky Way by tractor beam. And the quardacs are just a distant dream, and our brains have turned to sour cream. Loopy from our earworms, space shanty theme. Space Croutons.
Space Croutons is a work of original fiction. Similarities to persons, situations, or events, real or fictional, is coincidental and unintentional. Created and written by Jerry, Jace, John, Della, and Jeff Goodson. Episode story by John. Original music and production by Jeff, Della, Jerry, and John. Featuring the voice talents of Jeff, Della, Jared, Brittney, Jessica, John, and Sally. Entire work copyright 2021 by Jeff, John, Jerry, Della, and Jace Goodson. This has been a Good Witch audio production.